Yeah, yes. Ooh, this could be the best one of the session. Hello, I'm Stewart Bloor. Before I set off though from the driver's home, here's a clip from a visit yesterday to RD Tackle where I chatted with Glenn. Hello Glenn, how are you?
All right, thank you, mate.
Well, we hear about shortages in the shops quite a lot, but I think this is the first time I've come across a maggot shortage. What's going on?
Yeah, maggots and casters. It's just basically the heat kill the flies. So you imagine that, and produced in sheds. It's a sealed shed so the flies can't get out. Heat kills the flies. No eggs, no maggots. So it's just a bit of a circle.
And this isn't something, of course, just for RD Tackle. It's right across the board, right across the country.
Yeah.
So when's it likely to be rectified? All these anglers who are going out the weekend, they're thinking, where's my gallon of maggots if they do a little bit of match fishing?
There is companies that have got some, and we're trying our hardest to get some. We use lanes. We're waiting on a phone call now to see if they can deliver to us tomorrow. It all depends how many they get off. So, but it is tight at the minute.
This might be an opportunity for fishermen to try something different. Prawns, worms, sweet corn, hemp and tares, wasp grubs. Old-fashioned baits, aren't they?
No, that's a bait and off, wasp grub.
Do you remember those from the 70s?
Yeah.
Dig your own wasp grub out. You have to smoke it out first. Get the nest. Used it as a cake for your ground bait. Then the wasp grub. They were killers on the 7, weren't they, for chub?
Wasp cake for chub was brilliant. Yeah, mate. Good old bait that is.
Maybe we'll have to go back to those days.
I think you'd get frowned upon now, wouldn't you, for digging wasps up?
You would, wouldn't you? It would be something not perhaps.
You have to keep it quiet anyway.
Very fashionable, I think, nowadays.
Yeah.
Does anybody fish with wasp grub still?
Well, a lot of the clubs banned them back in the day.
They did, didn't they? Yeah.
Was...
And bloodworm and jokers, they banned those, didn't they?
Yeah. Bloodworm and jokers back, but it's just that expensive. Not hard to get. There's some good old baits either when you think about it. There's always the old favourite, mate. Bread.
Now that's one that people don't fish a lot with, is it really today?
Bread punch.
I've still got my bread punch, like the old pen, like a pen, and you get the socket in the end, and you can put it on in accordance with the size that you want.
You'll get the colder months, mate. You go bread punch and come. It sorts out the fish.
What about wheat as well? That's another old-fashioned bait, isn't it?
My dad used to be able to fish for a week on a bag of wheat.
Stewed wheat.
Yeah. He used to catch some nice roach on the 7 with that. He had wheat.
Then there was the luncheon meat came in, and that's probably still used by a few anglers, but they into pellets and maybe pepper. I use pepper army. I do nowadays. It's much easier to.
We sell a hell of a lot of meat.
Do you still sell it?
Yeah. Pellets is the next biggest after maggots.
So the bad news is no maggots, but the good news, plenty of other baits to give a try this week. Excellent. Thanks for the updates.
Fingers crossed we should have some back in tomorrow.
And today is Tuesday, so Wednesday. Give RD Tackle a call before you come, and hopefully there are maggots in stock.
Yeah, we should have some in tomorrow.
Excellent. And that is why I'm going lure fishing now. Actually, it works out quite well because I had the morning taken up. I wasn't free until lunchtime, and I've got the evening accommodated elsewhere as well. Therefore, I couldn't be fishing at either of those two prime times. Therefore, a nice little lure session in the afternoon. Not ideal because it's very, very sunny, very, very bright, but sometimes you have to take what you can get. Let's go. First cast. It's very pleasant actually today, and there is a breeze which, although it's coming towards me, I can live with it. It's not going to affect fishing. I'm not chucking that far from the bank. I'll show you the tackle in due course. It's a very light jig head. Bringing the lure in. Again, I'll show you that as well. This is where you start to get the plucks and the takes, the little nibbles and the enquiries that tell you there are fish in the spot. Nothing as of yet though, but always keep going right until the very end, because whether it's fish following through or maybe those in the margins, you'll often get a take just as the lure is about to be lifted from the water. They don't want their little snack to disappear. And in fact, I've just had a little nibble right there at the side. and again a second one, and that will no doubt be tiny little perch. Good side, good side. Second chuck in, and let's see if I can get something on this cast. A good 7 or 8 casts later, and well, it's not too bad, but at least I'm not a blanker. It's always nice to video them being returned as well as they swim away. Well, they do eventually. That was an interesting fish because I'm casting alongside lilies, sometimes into open water, but alongside on that occasion, and you don't always get your cast right, and I went on top of the lilies, so immediately I lifted to pull the lure free, and as I did, it came and dropped on the water, and then almost immediately I had that fish. It must have been in the right place at the right time, for me anyway, and without even thinking, in fact I've got a lily now, without even thinking, it lunged at the lure, and that's how I got that fish. And there's a lily, almost slipped in the water. There's a lily that I'm trying to avoid, but at the same time trying to get as close to it as I can. Let's rearrange the lure. That's often the case, that it needs to be sorted when you've hooked into something else. The lure usually doubles up, so you need to straighten it out, make sure it's all okay. Oh, that one's right next to the lilies. Perfect. Will I get a fish though with a perfect cast? Not sure I will. Not from that immediate area anyway. But of course, as I've already used the term following through, that's what they do sometimes. They don't always take the bait immediately, but will follow it. I've seen this because I've fished in clear water, which is always a good pointer to someone. If you've never done this type of angling before, lure fishing in general, showing you the rod there, always working it in the water. Go somewhere where it's very clear and you can see how the lure works. You can also observe fish as well, which is also very helpful and beneficial. Perch number 2, it's been in the net because someone was talking to me when I caught it. But now, like the first one, it's going back home. It is on the slow side, I would say, today. At least I've caught though. Let me show the tackle that I'm fishing with. That's a Fox Rage reel loaded with braid. The rod is a Gray's G-Lite spin, 4 to 8 pound category. It's a 6-foot rod. If I put it there alongside me, you can see just up to me, it might be just over. No, it's not. It is 6 foot, as it says on the tin. I have a swivel there, and then I've got about a metre of line from there to the hook. I usually go with either Drennan double strength, maybe 10 pound on somewhere like here, 10, 12 or 15 pound, or sometimes I'll go with fluorocarbon. That's the business end. It's a 0.7 gram jig head, size 6 hook, and a 2-inch glider fish, perfect in the water. This is clear as well where I'm fishing, and so absolutely brilliant in terms of presentation. You can wriggle your little lure through the water and tempt a perch or two. I don't know about 3 or 4, but a perch or 2 at the moment. Let me show the rod again. Always working the rod. Lots and lots of movement on the lure because it's not a live fish. It's a dead piece of rubber. Therefore, working it continually. And of course, the occasional turn of the reel handle as you bring it in. If you were just throwing out a spinner, it would be in within a relatively short period of time compared to this, which could be 5, 6 or 7 times in the water compared to the spinner. Nothing on that occasion. Let's have another pop. That was a savage take. Doesn't mean to say it's a big fish though, because I'm fishing with braid and it's very light. You feel everything. You feel the take, the fight, the whole lot. And that's the culprit. Fancied that. Didn't realise that it's not a real fish. It's a little bit of rubber with a hook in it. Lily pads look nice, but the flowers, that's the icing on the cake. A few on the other section of lilies as well. Lots and lots of pads, look how dense they are. Great fish holding areas, but you need the right gear to keep them out of them because that's where they'll head for, natural snags. You've seen the lilies, now let's cast up against them and slowly work that lure back through the water. It is slow, I've already said that today. I'll be here for probably less than an hour anyway. I want another perch though before I go. Keep the rod high in the water, high in the air, so that the lure can be worked through the water. Sometimes I'll relax and let it drop and raise it again. Plenty of movement, constant movement, that's the key. It's now just in the margins. Always have a little look to see if there is a perch coming through, or maybe one of those smaller ones who fancy a little go themselves. Nothing at all. We repeat the process. This will be my last cast. Beyond the lilies, starting to bring the lure back. I like this mini jigging type approach because if there are just small fish around, you can catch them, of course, but it doesn't stop a bigger one taking the bait either. In fact, regarding size, my first 20-pound pike last century, sounds a long time ago, last millennium actually, not just century, but my first 20-pound pike was caught on a tiny little sprat dead bait. So small baits will catch small fish, but they won't eliminate bigger ones either. The reverse though, if you're using a huge lure, I did say one more cast. I'm a fisherman, we always have one more chuck. But if you are fishing with a large lure, then of course 6-inch lure, you're not going to catch a 4-inch perch. But that's what we do sometimes. We set our stall out for something big, all or nothing. Then there are other times when, even though we might be after big fish, we still catch small ones or even those of other species in the process. But that's all good. No such thing as a nuisance fish in my book. They're all very, very welcome. And I'll tell you something, and I'm going to have one more cast, I'll tell you that. I'll tell you something, come the winter, which isn't that far away now when you think about it, we're into August, by the time we hit December, that's the winter, we will be thankful of, yes. Ooh, this could be the best one of the session. We will be thankful of small perch, or even slightly larger ones. Let me net it. That footage just of the raised fish in one hand in the net and the rod and reel in the other, that will be the thumbnail for YouTube, the thumbnail image. Not too bad actually. I've caught bigger, but nice way to end the session. It's lost its sense of direction. There it is. It knows where it's going.